Greetings, my ethereal friends. I am Pleiades from Akashic Knowledge, and I hope you're having a very blessed day. Today, I'm going to be talking about my subjective experiences with psychedelics, specifically psilocybin mushrooms and LSD. Before I start, I just want to say a disclaimer that this video is purely for educational purposes. This is in no way glorifying the psychedelic experience or condoning or saying that you should go do it. I am simply sharing the insights that I gained from my experiences for the case of educational purposes. So don't fucking go out and do some shit and say I told you to do it. I'm just sharing my experiences. So to dive right into it, before I had the psychedelic experience, I exclusively saw reality through the lens of the scientific perspective. That is, we are all inanimate particles that are somehow collecting in a mass to create consciousness in a way that is yet to be accurately scientifically explained. Then one day, about 4 years ago now, I ingested 1/8 of an ounce of psilocybin mushrooms, and this experience broke the veil of my mind and showed me the ultimate reality without the lens of my ego. We do not normally see reality the true way that it is, the interconnectedness of existence. We normally see this conditioned, individualized, separated perspective of reality. We are existence itself, experiencing itself through individualized perspectives. And when we attach ourselves to these individualized perspectives, we begin to forget and lose sight that we are actually everything that is only being channeled and experienced through this little subjective, individualized vantage point at this moment. But however, we are actually everything. We lose sight of this. A lot of people go through their entire incarnation not even recognizing the true interconnected nature of reality. So my very first experience with psilocybin mushrooms showed me this interconnected nature of reality, hands-on. You know, I read about it and I learned about it, but I didn't really understand and overstand or even understand it. I just kind of intellectually acknowledged it, but didn't really take it in my being, you know what I'm saying? So this experience threw me right into the fact that I am a soul. I had a telepathic communication with my cat that day that really showed me that souls are in every living being. You know, like I said before, I kind of intellectually understood this before, that oh, you know, they're alive, they have consciousness like us and shit, but being able to look into my cat's eyes without the barrier of my mind, and instead of seeing abstraction and concepts and simplifying reality, I just saw that cat without the barrier of my mind and the illusion of Maya, saw into its eyes and felt its soul. I saw through the physical plane into the higher plane that is the ethereal plane, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I saw my cat's soul. This is the first time that I truly felt and grasped the concept that we are all souls. Every living being is a soul. Later on in the experience, I looked at myself in the mirror. I locked the door in the bathroom and experienced what I felt like was going to be shown to me. And what I found was that I am not my body. This was once again the first time that I truly understood, not intellectually, truly understood that I am everything, that I am this ethereal being that has been incarnated in this individualized perspective and has the illusion that I am a body, that I am a mind. I looked into my eyes and everything else began to dissolve away, and what was left was like a rabbit hole that was infinitely long through my eyes, where I saw what I interpreted to be eternity. We are forever living. Our true essence, which is what I saw in that mirror, which is what I saw in my cat, is forever living and is forever lasting, because time is an illusion in this physical plane. These are all realizations that I came to when I began to dissolve my ego. This experience was certainly a milestone of my spiritual journey, and it paved the way for the rest of my journey. However, what I did not realize at the time is that psychedelics do not evolve you. They show you the way so that you can evolve yourself. This is probably the most important thing that I would say that you should get from this video, is that psychedelics don't do the work for you. You can't just eat a bunch of mushrooms and expect to have all your shadow work done, to expect all your spiritual journey to just be done for you. They only show you the way so that you may do it yourself. So I did not realize this at the time. I thought the more psychedelics I take, the more evolved I will be. So I began to experiment with LSD. I got it in large amounts. I would do it all the time. I would do it up to 3 times a week for months. I was very attached to it. So what happened to me next was I began to become attached to the psychedelic experience, in a way psychologically addicted to the feeling of being in these godlike states. What these psychedelic experiences do is dissolve your mind, and when you dissolve your mind, you are in the true essential nature of reality. Our true nature of being is beyond the veil of our mind. So when you transcend the barrier of the mind and the illusion of Maya, you are left in a space where you are God. You are creator, you are the all, you are existence, and you are returned to source when you transcend the illusion of the mind. Psychedelics brought me into this state of being, which I didn't realize at the time is my true natural state of being. I got heavily attached, to say the least, of this state of being. I never wanted to come down. I truly thought that the only way that I can ascend into these states of being is to use my external environment, going outside to reach these places inside of me. I was just tripping all the time. It was excessive because I felt like the more LSD I take, the more evolved I'm gonna be, the more growth is going to happen. But what I didn't realize was that I wasn't growing, because when I was having these experiences, you know, I would take it all in and I'd be like having the experience and surrendering completely. But what I didn't do was apply the wisdom that I gained from that experience when I came down. A lot of people that take psychedelics have these explosively immersive experiences with source consciousness, and then they get sober and they go back to their separated lifestyle, they go back to their unhealthy way of living, and they just don't apply any of the insights that they gained from the experience. At that point, you might as well not even have the experience, because if you are having this fucking experience that has all this potential to teach you and change your life, and then you're not doing shit about it, it's not gonna hold your hand and walk you up your path of ascension. You have to do that shit yourself. The majority of our mind is our subconscious mind. Our thoughts, our beliefs, our habits, these originate in the subconscious mind. We normally live our lives on the surface of our conscious mind, completely unaware of the existence of these things that are lying deep within us, in our deeper psyche. What psychedelics did for me was show me the origination of a lot of my beliefs, a lot of my habits, a lot of my actions, a lot of my thoughts, a lot of my feelings. And they showed it to me, like they just threw it in my face, and it was basically like, you gonna do something about this or not? Psychedelics serve to assist you and show you the way to grow, including showing you things that you may not even have known that you need to work on, so that you can work on them when the experience is over. Psychedelics helped me tremendously by being a tool for me to see the true nature of reality. However, something that I want to make very clear is that you do not need psychedelics to have these epiphanies, realizations, or experiences. You seriously don't have to take anything outside of you to go inside of you. What these experiences were doing was taking things that were inside of me and rising them to the surface for me. You do not need them to do that. If you go into meditation, if you cultivate yourself, if you work on going inside of yourself, dive deep within yourself, in these deeper states, these trance-like states of meditation, you can access your subconscious mind quite easily after you really get the hang of it. You can enter these states of consciousness in meditation that you do not have the barrier of the mind, as in the psychedelic experience. You can access the information within your subconscious mind completely sober, without the help of anything from your external environment. Psychedelics are simply tools that you can use to help you see the true nature of things. The only instance in which I would actually recommend the psychedelic experience to someone would be if somebody is completely asleep, completely in the matrix, just totally brainwashed, and it don't look like they're ever gonna come out of it anytime soon, completely closed and cut off. You can tell someone all day long the true nature of reality. You could give them your experiences, you can tell them facts, you can just drown them in insights and knowledge and wisdom about the true nature of being. But if they don't have that experience hands-on, they don't actually immerse themselves within source consciousness and have these experiences, they're very, very, very unlikely to really grasp what you're saying at all. So, having an experience of oneness like the psychedelic experience is something that can really wake somebody up. They can no longer dispute the fact that there is more to life than what meets the eye, than what meets the physical senses. They are thrown into the experience of oneness, and this can really help someone see the true nature of reality. And this is the only instance that I would actually recommend that somebody have these types of experiences. However, they only need one trip. Somebody doesn't need a whole bunch of trips. They only need that one trip to just see the true nature of everything, and then they can do the rest on their own. The rest is up to them. You got to work through your path on your own. But the psychedelic experience can show you the direction that you have to walk in to try that path. The only reason that I would recommend that experience to somebody who's really asleep is that it can really accelerate the process of their awakening. It's not necessary. You don't need to have a psychedelic experience to complete your path to ascension. Psychedelics are simply a tool. They are not a necessity. You do not need to have a psychedelic experience to complete your spiritual path, or be spiritual, or be awakened. They can be useful if used appropriately. There's a lot of people who get attached to things. You may not even know that you're attached to something, but if you go 2 weeks, go a month without doing something, whether it's weed, whether it's psychedelics, whether it's anything, whether it's drinking coffee, and you can't comfortably go through that period of time without it, without thinking that, oh, it's worse being sober, oh, it's worse not having coffee, like, oh, my quality of life is reduced because I don't have it. You're attached to something. Just because something isn't chemically or physically addictive doesn't mean that you can't be psychologically addicted to it and attached to it. Attachment is the root of all suffering. Even if you're attached to something good, beneficial to you, if you're attached, it's the attachment itself. It doesn't matter what you're attached to. It's the fact that you're attached to something in the material world. So you have to cut those attachments so that you can live a true liberated lifestyle. So psychedelics have a beneficial potential to them. They can really be a useful tool for somebody who uses it responsibly. However, psychedelics can actually be a detriment to your spiritual path and your self-development if you become attached to them. Don't have the mindset like I did that psychedelics are just good. They expand your mind, they fix you, they grow you, they're nothing but good. You can't have enough shrooms, you can't have enough LSD. This is a mindset that is going to get you attached to it, and the attachment that you are developing is going to be a detriment to your spiritual path. So, psychedelics are a tool for ascension. It is not a prerequisite or requirement for ascension. It is simply a tool that can show you the way if you can't see it yourself. It shows you things that are deep within your psyche, that are deep within your soul, your higher being, that you may not be aware of in your conscious state of being. However, you can gain all the wisdom and insights and information that you would intake from the psychedelic experience without the psychedelic experience, without psychedelics, without drugs, without any external substance or tool. You can gain all these insights by going inside of yourself. You do not need psychedelics to grow. They can help you. They can be a tool, but you don't need them. Just like the gym and the exercise equipment serve as a tool for you to exercise with these machines that moderate the exercise that you're doing and can be really helpful sometimes. You know, they're specifically engineered to work out certain parts of your body. They're very helpful, and a lot of people only grow by using them. However, you don't need these fucking exercise equipment. You can go home, and if you know how to, you can work out all the muscles of your body that you would at the gym. You can do certain exercises to get all of the fucking experience that you would at the gym at home. In the same way, psychedelics can serve as a tool that can be very useful, but you don't need it. If you do not act upon the realizations that you make on your psychedelic experiences, they don't serve you any good. They don't serve you any good unless you apply what you gain from them. You have to walk the path on your own. These psychedelic experience is something that is not exclusive to the psychedelic experience. In these deep states of meditation, you may access these states where you are hallucinating through your mind's eye. At a certain state, our pineal gland releases dimethyltryptamine, and we can naturally hallucinate. We can have hallucinations sober if you cultivate your inner eye, your spirit, through meditation without the use of anything in your external environment. So don't go along your journey thinking that you need psychedelics, you need to take more psychedelics, you need to try a psychedelic. Just go inside. So I would not recommend you to take psychedelics. I do not condone it, but if you do, be mindful of the things that arise from your deeper psyche. Try to get away from anyone that you're with. If you're with people, they may be awesome souls, but try to be alone so that you can really get the most from the experience, and isolate yourself so that you're left with nothing but your soul. Isolate yourself from your external environment and place your awareness on your internal environment and see what arises. Take mental notes, and when the experience is over, act upon the realizations that came to you. That would be the best advice that I could give to someone that's already doing them or going to do them. Know that you have to take action upon these realizations while you're sober. You can't make all your growth in these heightened states of consciousness. Realize that you need to do real spiritual, physical work on yourself. So that's really my essential insights that I would like to share with you guys and girls, to be of value to you across your journey, because I know that as you're going through your journey, people are going to talk about psychedelics. They're probably going to be around you. Your friends are probably going to be doing them, and you have to realize that you don't need them. And if you are going to do them responsibly, and know that they are a guide, and you have to walk the path yourself. You have to implement the realizations made yourself. I'm sending you all high vibrations. I hope you have a beautiful day. And if you have any questions about any of the things that I talked about or didn't talk about in this video relating to psychedelic experiences, if you want advice, if you want anything, have questions, put it in the comments of this video. I'll be answering all of them. Some other people might answer your questions too. This is a community that we're all gonna grow. If you have questions, we're all here to help you. Put it in the comments. I love every single one of you, and have a blessed, beautiful day. Namaste. Bye.